is Phyllis Y. Whitley. Welcome to Spiritology Live, a raw and uncut metaphysical, holistic space of consciousness. For self-healing, you will learn how to break your religious shackles, master and manifest your promised land within today. This podcast will be based out of my #1 Amazon best-selling author book called Spiritology. Let's get started. Well, first of all, congratulations to me and all the podcasters that came out in January 2022. I am going to speak from episode 1. I'm going to continue just to give you a little bit more spice. And each week, you're going to get a little bit of dessert. I can't give you the whole dinner because you got to go ahead and purchase the book. Now, for those of you who say, I'm not going to go purchase the book, I just want the little surprises in it and stuff like that. No worries. That's what I'm here for. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go right into it. First of all, we talked about in episode 1, religious shackles. And I didn't put too much emphasis on that. But what I'm going to do today, I want to dive in something that I discussed. To give you a short recap, religious shackles is those seeds, poisonous seeds that came way back and started in the garden, for what we know, that Garden of Eden in the Old Testament, went through the snake, and you know what happened. From there, going toward with the New Testament, the seed showed up many times before then. The seeds showed up with the killing of the 2 brothers. It just showed up everywhere. And now going forward, when you get to the New Testament, God just kind of like showed everybody, let me show you how it's supposed to be. Because remember, you got a perfect spirit going through an imperfect body. That's us. So I just want you to all know that this is something that gets you to a point in your life where you say, hey, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I want to live my promised land. This is no way where I'm teaching you Bible study, but you got to go back to the manufacturer word if you want to know how something works. Amen. With that being said, we have a chapter called You Are Free. I want to let you know that you are free. What is that, Miss Phyllis? You have the freedom to go forth in life and choose. God said, are you going to choose life or are you going to choose death? You notice God gave you an option. So people be like, oh, Lord, why is this happening to me? God is giving you an option. He gave everybody an option because he don't want you to be walking around like a robot. It's just like your kids. You have to give them an option. Now, I know at a certain age, you say, hey, mama know what's best. I know what's best. You're not going to go to school at 2 years old by yourself. With that being said, he gave us the power that a lot of preachers and spiritual leaders is not letting us know. And a lot of us look up to them. Don't get me wrong. You do need a mentor. You do need a spiritual coach, a spiritual preacher or pastor. But you got to choose wisely, because this thing that God have given us is the gospel. He told Jesus, go among the gospel and multiply. And as we learned in episode 1, multiplication is Jesus came for 3 years, did what he did. God was showing an example of how it worked, because for so many centuries he went through the prophets. So moving forward, the greatest prophet you had was Jesus. And he said, preach my gospel. Well, it didn't just end with him, because that's not the ending. It starts with everybody, every single person who's born on this earth. It starts with you. What are you doing? Do you preach the gospel? Well, I really don't. You know what? Listen, Miss Phyllis, Miss P, whatever. I'm not trying to get in front of a pulpit. You notice that back in the days, they would tell people, preachers that really didn't know their gift of prophecy, they would tell everybody God is calling you, and people would run. To this day, the average man run, the average woman run. Like I don't see myself up in the pulpit. You don't have to see yourself up in the pulpit, because basically to preach the gospel is what? Let's go back into what it is. It's good spell. Yes. The word, W-O-R-D, spell, S-P-E-L, gospel. Go spell it out. It's a good blessing, a good spell. People go crazy. Oh my God, she said spell. Oh my goodness, she said spell. Yes, I'm in the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is not made up on all warlocks and witches and stuff like that. It's a dark side, but it's a good side. And God invented everything first. And see, we get confused, so don't get dismayed when you hear that. Don't run away. Some of y'all will run away, and it's fine, because I'm here for those who are ready to go into their promised land. Who wants the truth? You're not going to get the truth unless you go back and manufacture a book. So why are you looking in your book? Oh, I got scriptures up in my book. They are there to back it up. So the good spell, what are you doing? What are you doing about the good spell? Who are you going to talk to? Who are you telling? Well, I mean, I need a platform. No, you don't need a platform. Your first good spell should be in your household. It should be with your kids, your children. Well, I don't have kids. Well, how about your neighbors, your co-workers? No, the gospel is not you going and you saying, God is coming. Jesus is getting ready to come. Get yourself together. No, it's for you to tell them the good news of living, the good news of being in a promised land. They can be happy. They can do the things that you actually seen manifested in Jesus when he walked the earth. No, we cannot turn water into wine. All of that is like a metaphor. We're not going to get into that. But what we're going to get into is the basic. What are you doing to set an example for people?